Thank you, Brother Lavu, for the wonderful introduction. Good morning, everybody, once again. Today, I was asked, actually a couple of days ago, when I was getting ready to come here, that whether I could talk to the adult students here about the Esala day. Esala is the Pali word for the month, because we have Jetta means June, we call it Jetta for June, and Esala for July. So I said, it's okay, because tonight we'll be taking the invitation to Vasa, and then it's pretty much, kind of similar, but shouldn't be overlapping about the information that I'm presenting. Anyways, so let's talk about Esala day, and then the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta's application to the Dhammacakka day. Now, the students said, today is the Dhammacakka day. All right. So, what is Esala day? Esala is, once again, it is the Pali term for the month of July. What does Esala mean? Anybody has any idea? Esala? Monsoon. Right? From June 22nd to July 22nd, we call this period Esala, because the full moon can occur any day of the month. So as Buddhists, we have a very interesting point. Like if you look at other religious traditions, days are not getting changed. 25th December, Christmas, right? Somewhere in March, that is the Good Friday, and then the immediate Sunday is going to be Easter. It's not going to be changed, right? If you look at other religious traditions, days are fixed. But we do not have a particular day for the particular event, isn't it? If you look at Vesak, there's no fixed date. It could go span over the month of May. Vasade, no, it could span over the month of July. Katina has no particular date whatsoever. And all the lunar days, they are getting changed because we go by the moon, differences of the moon. Not the moon, huh? Moon's phases. Moon is fixed, but moon's phases, right? So, as I told you, Esala means monsoon, right? So, the significance of Esala day depends upon the events that happen on this particular day, particular full moon day. Okay, let me ask you, you adults. Now, you have some very popular answers. Well, the Buddha gave his first sermon to the 5 ascetics. This is one of the very famous incidents happen. Don't count on these small 3D pictured people, right? But they are referred to as the 5 ascetics, Panchavagya Bhikkhu. What are the other significant events that happen on this particular day? The day could span over, but for the full moon of July, Esala day. I'm checking your knowledge. Yes, that's correct. Yes. So Prince Siddhartha was conceived in mother's womb on the full moon Poya day of July, Esala Poya day. And he spent precisely 9 months. Nobody is going to be in the womb of a mother for 9 months accurately, precisely. Now, if you ask from your mom, she might say that it could be probably 8 months, probably 9.5, 7.5, 7.25. It is changed. Only the bodhisattvas are going to be spending 9 months exactly, right? But according to Pali tradition, the month is not, how many days do we have for a month? No, that's the Christian way of counting the month, right? So we have 27, below 30. So from that definition, it's not going to be 30 multiplied by 9 months, right? It has to be little less the number, right? That is how we take it. Okay, so two incidents are now. The first Dhamma talk, the first sutta as well, Dhamma Chakka Pavattana Sutta. Pavattana Sutta. And the conception of the conceiving part of the Bodhisattva, Shakyamuni Bodhisattva in his mother's womb. Who was his mother? Maya Devi, Mahamaya Devi. Right? And what else? Well, the first Dhamma talk did not really work well, right? It didn't go well. Why is it? Only one person attained Sotapanna. Right? Only Anya Kondanja was able to attain Sotapanna. It didn't work that much. That's why Buddha had to give another talk, Anatta Lakkana Sutta. It's about the impermanence. Thereby others also, other four were able to attain different stages. It doesn't say that first talk is not good, important. But it did not work as it was expected for the 5 ascetics. That's why he had to give another couple of discourses. Anatta Lakkana is another sutta. So if it didn't work well, so we couldn't exactly say that the Sangha was formed from this point. But after a certain time onwards, there was a point that Buddha said, now we have 60 monks, including me, and we should not stay in one temple, so we have to go separately for the sake of many people, right? That is how it was started. And the Buddha said you have to travel to many places. And then what happened was that monks, they started traveling to many places during the whole year. And there was an objection after some time. That is how the Vassa is going to be started, after that objection. Because other religious traditions, they do not ask their followers, their monks or whoever nuns, to go to other places during the monsoon time. They take some time off from the year in a temple, right? And they spend 3 months. But now it is being different. It's a little confused. Monks stay in the same temple for the 12 months. But saying additionally that we're going to take Vassa also in the same temple. If so, theoretically speaking, they have to go out of the temple except the Vassa time. Before July, and then after Katina. They shouldn't be in the temple, right? But anyways, we have to just go by what is happening. I'm just trying to show you the things that we don't see compatible with the canon. Conception of the Bodhisattva in mother's womb, Maya Devi's womb, and then the Dhammacakka Sutta's delivery of the Dhammacakka Sutta. And we couldn't say the Sangha was formed, but you could say nominally, yes, that was the first gathering that the Buddha said, talk to monks. We could say, but the official forming of the Sangha was a little later. And what else? When did Prince Siddhartha leave the house, palace? Renunciation, great renunciation. Right? Right? How many times do you leave your house? Huh? But it's not going to be a renunciation. Great renunciation. So this was considered to be the greatest renunciation because he did that for the sake of many. But some of the feminists don't like the idea. He left the house having just one day born baby and the wife without giving any good plan. What's going to happen? How is Yashodhara going to take care of a newborn son, right? Because it is said that Devadatta was trying to harass Yashodhara in some of the sources. So she had to go through some pain. Anyways, this is another incident. That means the greatest renunciation of Prince Siddhartha. Now how many do we have for the significance of the Asala day? Around 4, right? Dhammacakka, delivery of Dhammacakka Sutta, conception of the Bodhisattva, Shakyamuni Bodhisattva, and then the greatest renunciation of the Prince Siddhartha. And then what else? Sankasa. He came to Sankasa from one of the heavens. What is that story about? That story is interesting. Now, although the Buddha's mother passed away, let's say, Prince Siddhartha's mother passed away, not because he was born, he passed away. Before Bodhisattva is going to be reborn in his last life, he normally checks for 5 things. Kala, the time; Deepa, the location; Kula, the clan, because India has a lot of caste issues even today. Kala, Deepa, Desa. Kala, Deepa, Desa. Deepa means the island. Desa means the greater locality. And then Kala, Deepa, Desa, Kula means the clan. And Mata, Janani, Ayu, mother's age. Because when Bodhisattva is reborn into a mother, that mother is protected by the 4 Deva, 4 guardian Deva. So no other child can be reborn in that mother's womb, because Devas are protecting the Bodhisattva. That is why Bodhisattva is looking at a woman, a great woman, who is naturally going to die in a 7 days of time. Some people wrongly misinterpret. Say, Bodhisattva's mother has to die because he is going to be reborn. That is pretty bad, No woman should die because of a Bodhisattva, right? Because he looked at a woman who is going to die within a 7 days of time. And then stepmother Mahapajapati Gautami took care of the Bodhisattva. But Buddha did not give up helping his mother. He knew where was his mother reborn after the death. Did the Buddha mother attain Nibbana before the death or after? What happened to her? She passed away in 7 days of time of the Shakyamuni Buddha's birth. Then where was she born? Tusita heaven. She was reborn. It is also ironical. The Buddha came from the Tusita heaven into her, and she is going to be reborn in Tusita heaven. Isn't it interesting? That's interesting too, right? And then what happened? The Buddha traveled to Tavatinsa, another heaven, to spend Vassa. He did not go to Tusita. Mother Deva, Maya Devi Deva, came to Tavatinsa to listen to him. So he taught Abhidhamma during that whole Vassa. Every day he talked about Abhidhamma. The Buddha traveled to the lake called Anotappa, and then it is said that he explained all the Abhidhamma things that he told the Deva to Arahant Sariputta. So the interesting part is, then after spending the 3 months Vassa, then he descended into the human world, into the Sankasa. Is one of the cities in India. So he descended into Sankasa, right? That is also supposed to have happened on a Asala day, right? Not even that. When he descended into Sankasa city, he gave the precise statement for the next Buddha, Maitreya Buddha, Bodhisattva Maitreya. Call it Avalokiteshvara. Then he said, this gentleman would be the next Buddha, Sammasambuddha, Maitreya Buddha. So there are many things happen on this day, going beyond your knowledge of the Asala day, only for the Dhammacakka. Many things happen. Even if I just mention a little bit about something else, the current Upasampada, higher ordination in Sri Lanka, was started on Asala day. You know that Sri Lanka lost their Theravada connections because of other reasons. So then what happened, the Kandy period in Sri Lanka, there was a period called Kandy, 17th century period. The king asked the Dutch company who was taking over the businesses in the maritime Asia, VOC company, can you please go to Siam Kingdom and ask the king in Siam, in Thailand, can you send some Sangha to Sri Lanka to start new Upasampada? And 2 ships were wrecked during the voyages. The 3rd trip was successful after 8 years. And then they started Upasampada in Kandy, Sri Lanka. This current Upasampada that we have now in Sri Lanka on Asala day. Enough, right? Enough the asala day. A lot of things. If we keep talking about it, so we may not be able to talk about Dhammachakra. So there are a lot of things happen on this day. So just expand your knowledge. Now all of you know how was Dhammachakra Sutta was given, the background. How was the background? It is said that Shakyamuni Buddha was hesitant, was reluctant to give a Dhamma talk, his first Dhamma talk to anybody. He was thinking Dhamma is too deep, profound, it might not go to the normal audience, right? Probably the presentation might not go to the normal people. So he was pondering over about this issue. Then the Sahampati Brahma appeared in front of the Buddha and then did an official invitation, Bhante, please start giving your Dhamma. There are a lot of people who will be benefited. He said, okay. Then he started thinking about the audience. He was thinking about, I had to be grateful first. Not just I go out of my temple or wherever. I was in Bodh Gaya. He was in Bodh Gaya. And he was thinking, who will be my audience? I always appreciate, according to him, the gratitude. In Buddhism, the first quality that everybody should practice is gratitude. That is why you are taking care of your mom, dad, and the following people, children, towards mom and dad. Why do we say that? After becoming the Buddhahood, Shakyamuni Buddha spent 7 special weeks. That means that adds up to 49 days. The second week out of those 7 weeks, he spent looking at the Bodhi tree without blinking, unblinking, looking at the Bodhi tree which has no life over there. Somebody might, why did the Buddha look at the Bodhi tree for 1 week without unblinking? Can you do that even for the partners? You won't be able to do it, right? It's going to be very odd and you will be tired, right? But he was like looking at, you are the one who gave me this shade. That is how I was able to comfortably attain Samma Sambuddhahood. What do we have to learn from there? Gratitude. I think we have to teach children not the impermanence first, not the Noble Eightfold Path first, but the gratitude first. That is how they learn. Then, we have to slowly go into the higher Dhamma after that. A lot of people are trying to teach kids very profound Dhamma teachings in the beginning. It won't work, even for you. Gratitude is the first thing. So, in the same way, Shakyamuni Buddha thought to himself, now, who am I going to talk to for the first time? I was looking at some of the people who helped me to practice in becoming the Buddha. Bhargava, one of the men actually at that time, he passed away some time ago. So, there's no point of approaching him. Then Alara Kalama, another ascetic, and he had also passed away a few days ago. Uddaka Ramaputta, third person, he had also passed away just a couple of days ago. Now, all these people passed away. But there were 5 friends that I had who told me some bizarre ideas. Don't eat, don't take showers, give a lot of pain to body, and you will become the Samma Sambuddha. I thought you would work. Like some people do in today's world, giving a lot of pain to the body and thinking that I will become enlightened. Right? It didn't work. I practiced for 6 years of that practice. He said that when I try to touch my tummy, I touch almost my back. And I found out, no, giving pain to the body will never take me to my liberation. And also giving lots of happiness to my body will also not give me the Nibbana. So we have to find the balance. Not your balance, the way how you look at your balance in your life. Not eating, not being on a diet, not being on a diet, eating too much, eating little less. It's not that kind of moderation. According to him, that perfect moderation was happened because he was thinking that I have to walk away from them. So they also left him. So they knew that he is not following, but after that, what they told him. But still, they trying to help me. I have to appreciate that. Where are they now? He was looking at them. Oh, they are in the Benares, right? In the Benares, so probably 500 miles away from Bodh Gaya. Then he started walking over there, traveling to Benares, Varanasi, right? And then he went over there after many months, and then the 5 ascetics identified the Buddha. They thought, now he is coming after us, maybe he did not become the Buddha. Right? They did not respect him. Okay, let him come, maybe spend a couple of days and then go wherever he wants to go. But because of the majesty of the Buddha, they were not able, they couldn't help not respecting. So somebody brought some water to wash his feet, somebody set up a chair and something and all that. And then he started talking to them. Who are those friends, 5 ascetics? What are their names? Let's say this ascetic could be Anya Kondanya. Actually, he's Kondanya, not Anya Kondanya. Kondanya. This we can name him to be Vappa, right? Kondanya Vappa. This one we can say his name to be Baddiya. This one we can say Mahanama. This one we can say Asaji. Maybe they just sat here and there. We don't think that we might not be able to identify them exactly. But these 5 were listening to him. But they kept rejecting the Buddha's teaching, saying that maybe you are lying to us. Then the Buddha said, had I ever told you something that was untrue? Have I ever lied to you about my spiritual progress? He said, no. Okay, listen up. Don't need to believe me. Listen up. And then you make your investigation. That is Buddhism, right? In Buddhist teachings, even if a monk is to give a talk, you may feel agreed or disagree, but you have to do your own investigation. Where is it mentioned? Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehi passiko. Come and see. Come and see. It's a free thing, right? So we can't force anybody out to embrace Buddhist thing. All right, so then the sutta was delivered by the Buddha. The sutta has a name called Dhamma Chakka right? So what is Dhamma? What is Chakka? What is Pavattana? So I want to tell you, Dhamma has multiple meanings, not even one meaning. And capital D has the meaning of teaching. When you see capital D, uppercase D, with Dhamma, that means a teaching of anybody. Dhamma of the Jesus Christ, we can say. Dhamma of the Bhagavad Gita in Hinduism. Dhamma of the Shakyamuni Buddha. Dhamma of the Nigantanatha Buddha. Dhamma of the Islam. So they all carry the idea of somebody's teaching. Also, another meaning could be moral law, maybe the natural law. That is another meaning. But have you ever seen this simple DHA? Dhamma. What does this mean? Does it mean the teaching, the moral law, or any other thing? What does this mean? Dhamma. It's not Dhamma, this is Dhamma. Dhamma means thoughts, phenomena. Right? Now we have eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind. Then what are the related objects that are taking to your senses? Eye takes sights, images. Ear takes sounds. Nose takes smells. And then tongue takes taste. Body takes the touch. Mind takes thoughts. Then chakku sota gana jivha kaya mana. This row. The other row that are relevant to the objects are rupa, saddha, gandha, rasa, pottabha, dhamma. That is a different one. Dhamma. D-H-A-M-M, long A. Dhamma. So don't get misunderstood. When somebody says Dhamma means not the Dhamma. Capital D. This is Dhamma, you can see. Then Chakka. What are the other meanings of Dhamma too? Now we talked about capital D, teaching. Simple D, Dhamma means thoughts, phenomena. And also DHA-MMA. Simple DHA-MMA, you could say reality of anything, true nature of anything. What is Dhamma of my life? What is the true nature of my life? What is Dhamma of Michael? What is Michael's true nature? What is Dhamma of Anne? What is the true nature of Anne? You could say she's a good person, he's a good person. At the same time, you could say Anne has to go through impermanence. Anne has to go through changes. Michael has to go through suffering. Michael has to go through life, right? True nature, right? In that way, meaning is going to be different. Don't think D capital has a different meaning, same meaning, just as the DHAMM long A. So here, Dhamma means teaching, Buddhist teaching. Chakka, wheel, it's a wheel. Now I think the wheel has been wrongly given. The spokes come out of the wheel, the Dhammachakra, which is not correct. Interesting, you don't see a wheel where the spokes come out of it. Say Dhamma wheel, Dhammachakra. All right, so see the Dhammachakra over here. So the spokes have come out of the wheel, which shouldn't be. So how does it move actually? So this could be a proper wheel. If you go to Saranath, you see the proper wheel. See? Dhammachakra. This can be exactly, able to move. So this one, again, the spokes have come out of it, which is a little crazy, yeah? Anyways, Chakra means the wheel, which has spokes, has the ability to move forward. Pavattana, let me highlight here. Kama Sukhallikanu Yoga. And here you can see the next one, Atta Kilamatanu Yoga. See? Atta Kilamatanu Yoga. Yes. What is Kama Sukhallikanu Yoga? Kama Sukhallikanu Yoga. Kama, what does Kama mean? Pleasures. How many pleasures do we have? Asking. What pleasure do you have now, sitting on the mat? Do you find lots of pleasure being seated like this? Of course not, right? Probably. Because you might find a chair to feel comfortable, more comfortable. Maybe. Kama means 5 pleasures. What are the 5 pleasures? Actually 6 pleasures. What are they? Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabba, Dhamma. We would like to see what we want to see. We would like to hear the sounds that we want to hear. Maybe from the person that we really love very much. Maybe the singer. Maybe so on and so forth. What about the smell? Do we want to smell the things that we don't want to smell? No. Perfumes, colognes, and probably other things. So we have our different choices, right? There are people who can't even get over with the unexpected smells, they can't get it over. And the taste, it's a very big issue. You will see that as a family, when you go to a restaurant, even in your family, how many choices are there? How many choices are going to be made? You have to keep asking people over there, what do you want to eat? Then they're taking time and then unhappy, right? The taste. I think that is the hardest pleasure that we all can easily get over. The rupas we can get it over a little bit, can forget about. But sounds also we can do something. Smell can be overcome. Touch can also be overcome. Thoughts also you may give a temporary stop, but the taste, very difficult for many. That's why people get into sicknesses, diabetes, cholesterol issues, right? The end of those such are going to end up with such very disastrous diseases, non-communicable diseases and issues. So the Buddha says, Kama Sukha, pleasure, happiness on the pleasures. Nobody should cling to any Kama Sukha. Do not cling to. You may attach. Do we have a separate translation between attachment and clinging? Do you think that attachment and clinging, they could be two different things? Okay, this is something that I drew like some time ago, the intensification of likes and dislikes. All right. Now let's take level 1. Well, likes and dislikes. So we all have likes and dislikes. I want to eat what I want to eat. I can make a choice anytime. And I may dislike, let's say a snake comes into this hole, then definitely you want to protect yourself, that you may not like. And you don't like things like normal things, maybe a little bit different things too at different times. So if people cannot keep their likes and dislikes in a moderate way, then they will be automatically transformed into a little bad level that we call lobha and dosa. Lobha means that is the unwise or unskillful handling of likes. Unskillful handling of your likes. It's not skillful handling of your like. If it is skillful, you will keep it as a like. You will keep it as a dislike. When you are unskilled, then it will turn into another stage, level 2, lobha, and then dislike will become a dosa. What if that you want to eat something today, you are not agreeing to somebody, you say, no, I really want to eat. If not, I'm going to protest. I'm going to do something to you. That will turn into a lobha and also dosa. Right? Then what happened? Some people even cannot stop at that level. They will further be fermented or develop into abhijja and vyapada. Abhijja means higher level of the lobha. It's very, very dangerous. Covetousness. And vyapada means ill will, even thoughts of killing other people, even thoughts of assassinating other people's reputation, even thoughts of bad-mouthing other people, even thoughts of doing some nasty things to other people. Then see the suffering that people are having. Right? So, allika here, kamasukha allika. Allika means clinging to the sensual pleasures. You may have sensual pleasures, otherwise you can't live like this. You won't be able to have a comfortable life if you are not liking and disliking. You should have. But you should never cling to any of your sensual pleasures. That will be your end. Spiritual end, secular end of everything. And the Buddha says to monks, never ever take that path if you want to liberate yourself. That's pretty clear. And then the next one, this is the misunderstood thing that a lot of people do in today's world, even in religious traditions. Kama atta kilamatanu yoga. What is atta? Atta here, the first 4 letters. Atta means I, me, myself. Atta. Kilamata. Kilamata means the second couple letters. Mortifying, I would say, giving pain to myself. Pain to myself. So some people think that the more we give pain to the body, the closer, the nearer we are getting into liberation. Examples. So those people who only think sila is the liberation, only keeping precepts will be the liberation. Did the Buddha say so? No. Buddha said sila is the entry gate to the path. But you have to understand it is a combined practice, integrating practice. It has to go through samadhi and then enter into panya. Sila, samadhi, panya have to be equally practiced. Do not end up in sila. But a lot of people end up in sila. That is a big problem. Then what does it mean? When you do some sila, then you give up sila and then go to samadhi, give up then samadhi, go to panya. Give up? No, that is a wrong understanding. You have to simultaneously practice sila part, samadhi part, but the most important one is panya. Why do we practice sila? Because we want to attain panya. It's like the Western mindfulness. Now, the mindfulness that was found out by John Kabat-Zinn, University of Massachusetts. His plan was to create awareness. No sila in that mindfulness. You just want to relax. You are with a lot of problems, family issues, other issues, work issues. You just have to calm down. That is Western mind. It is okay for the Western society. The Westerners, they are struggling with the money. It's a very busy life and all that. But if you create a Buddhist mindfulness, of course there are issues whether we can say mindfulness for sammasati, that is another issue. But if you say that we are going to teach you Buddhist mindfulness, then of course you must tell them you have to start with sila. Why? Now let's say you are going to practice meditation now. Closing your eyes and then you are trying to focus on your breath, maybe something. But today morning you lied to somebody. You lied to somebody today morning. You stole somebody's stuff. You misbehaved. You had some bad level of alcohol. Can you concentrate yourself? Difficult. It's difficult. That is why the meditation has to start from the sila. But some say, no, we don't need sila. Let's go to the meditation. That's not going to work. Because kukucha is trying to take you over. Kukucha means repents, or I would say remorse. So here, Atta Kilamatana Yoga means those people who only think sila is the only practice to the Nibbana. That is incorrect. The way how it is going to be incorrect will be taught in the Sutta class. But now, just understand, it is incorrect. That understanding. If you say those people who practice only sila are going to attain Nibbana, then we are not doing better than Jains in India. How do they survive? Why do they not wear clothes? Why they are naked all the time? Have a guess. Why are Jains naked? They are going naked, most of them. They say, we are not even attached into our clothes. We not going to attach, we don't attach to the clothes. But what did the Buddha say? It is not because you go to a textile shop, to a branded shop, a generous shop to buy some clothes, not to attach, you have likes, just buy and wear it. But you are not going to attach to it. So use your comforts without attaching. But they said, no, we don't even need the materials. So that we are going to survive with our sila. Buddha said that is really too extreme. If Jains are with us now, they are not walking here. They said, no, find a broom. We have to first sweep the floor. There are tiny creatures that you don't see on the floor. Is it going to be really practical for us? And wherever you go, you have to bring a broom in your car. It's going to be. And they said, do not drink water from lakes and rivers, because that water definitely has bacteria, good and bad bacteria, organism. What did they propose instead? They said, you have to boil the water. But they never know, they never knew that while boiling the water, you are killing microorganisms. So when you are too much into sila, you are not practicing. Too much. Not even sila. When you are doing anything over too much, you are not doing it. When you are love someone, don't love too hard. You will be a struggle, you will be a problem to the other person. When you are eating, not eat too much. When you study, don't eat too much. When you practice Dhamma, don't practice too much. Too much is too much. Right? But too less, also too less. Too much, too less, two ends. Too much, Kamasukha Likkhana Yoga. Too less, Atta Kilamatana. Find the balance in the best possible way. Your balance will not be my balance. And somebody's balance here, not the other person's balance. But find the balance. Right? And the Buddha always said we have to walk through the path of Noble Eightfold Path in a very moderate way. Right? It doesn't mean that we want to kill other beings. We are very careful, but there may be some extreme levels where things can happen. While you are driving your car, perhaps there may be some animals who might come to the highway, but you can't stop. Because if you stop, you are creating danger on the highway. Because other people will jam onto you. Severe crashes happening. You have to go. Right? Even in law, it is a punishable crime. Do not stop for animals on the highways. because you are jeopardizing the life of many, right? So in that way, Atta Kilamatana Yoga means an extreme attachment to your sila. Do not extremely practice sila, just practice sila. Because we basically want to be moral, and we basically want to understand our pleasures and then to practice. That is the abstract of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. And then the Buddha explains his Four Noble Truths. What are they? What are the Four Noble Truths, Dhamm folks? What is the word for the Four Noble Truths? I saw that was posted somewhere in this building. I don't know whether you noticed that. Whoever posted that must have had the intention. Maybe other people might see this. Chattari Arya Satchani, Four Noble Truths. The Buddha said that we all are going through dukkha. What is a better translation for dukkha? No. Dukkha is not suffering. Dukkha could be suffering at a certain level, but dukkha is not primarily suffering. Unsatisfactoriness. We are not satisfied. It is not a dukkha. Just because you are not satisfied with your food, is it dukkha? Oh, you just simply dissatisfied. Unsatisfactory. But it will take you to suffering. Some people suffer along that way. You think about from your life. They will suffer at a certain level. But initially, primarily, it is unsatisfactoriness. Right? It's dukkha. So the Buddha said how to find the way out of the dukkha. A lot of other religious teachers talk about dukkha. Buddha said, I also talk about dukkha and also the way out of the dukkha. That is what he talks about in the sutta here. What are the Four Noble Truths, Dhamm folks? Can somebody name? The first Noble Truth? The Noble Truth of dukkha. Sometimes when you can't find a translation, use the Pali term. That is the better way. Don't try to translate the way you think. Right? Sometimes it creates a lot of chaos. Right? First one, first Noble Truth, the Noble Truth on dukkha. Then the second Noble Truth, the Noble Truth on the cause of dukkha. Why it is arisen? Why do we have to go through dukkha? Third, the Noble Truth on the cessation of the way out of the dukkha. There should be a way out. Every problem should have a way out. And some people, they try to commit suicide. Why? What are their opinions? If you ask somebody who is going to take their life, no solution for me. No, there's a solution. But that person doesn't want to look at it. It's a long-term one and a short-term one. Even dukkha if the dukkha has a way out, then what about those problems? They all come from the dukkha. Right? If somebody who's jumping off a cliff or a building, they're not thinking too much about it. And the fourth Noble Truth is the Noble Truth on the particular path on the cessation of the way out of the dukkha. That is what we call by the Noble Eightfold Path. What is the cause of dukkha? I'm asking you, what is the cause of the dukkha? Huh? What is it? Craving. It is called craving. Actually in Pali, let's go to Pali. Tanha. Tanha is the cause of our dukkha. What kind of tanhas do we have? How many tanhas do we have? We have 108 tanhas. But don't go to that details. It's in Abhidhamma. But we have basically 3 tanha. Kama tanha. So we have lots of craving for our pleasures. Our rupas, our sounds, our images, and then smells, taste, touch, and thoughts. How can you easily spot somebody who is having a lot of tanha? Okay, my mood is not good today. I don't like the mood that I have today. Because the thoughts that I expected today morning to have late afternoon, maybe evening, are not coming out today for whatever the reason. Maybe the person you really like has caused some problems to you. Overthinking, right? Why is it? Because you are attached to, you have craving towards your karma. That is karma tanha. Then second, bhava tanha, craving to be born. I want to be reborn in next life, this and that. I want to offer dana to the monk. Next life, may I be a deva. What is it? Bhava tanha. You are doing a Buddhist thing and then trying to be against the Buddhist fundamentals. Interesting, huh? You are doing a Buddhist thing. In that practice, you are trying to be against the fundamental Buddhism. That's ironical and very funny to me, actually. What did the Buddha say? When you offer dana or give something to somebody, always think, I just want to feel happy. I'm giving. I have no attachment, no greed towards the stuff that I offer to that other person. By offering food, may I have lots of food in my next life. So what is happening, you know what is happening actually in the next life? Let's say you offer some rice, then you are expecting something out of the rice. You will get the same rice next life. You are not getting doubling, quadrupling benefits of that. Then how to maximize that? Max out it. Never do expectations. When I offer, I'm truly happy that Sangha is enjoying that lunch and eating, that's it. Then karma will do their part. Why you want to involve in their part? Don't involve in karma part. They will do their business, their matters. Don't involve with their part. Some people do. Some people say, that person actually was very bad to me, so, karma should do something to that person. You are using karma to punish someone. No, things will happen the way. You just be a good person. That is enough. So, that is how we understand the second tanha, bhava tanha, craving to be. Never expect that you want to be reborn again. How should we expect? I want to attain sotapanna. That's it. Do everything. I want to attain sotapanna. Let's say you are not attaining sotapanna, doesn't matter. Because your last thought definitely be a fraction of that thought. Some people are asking me how to die peacefully according to Buddhism. Do you know when you're going to die? I don't know. Unless I get shot. Right? So what I'm saying, do not try to do a particular thing when you're going to die, because you never know when you're going to die. So be ready all the time with satipatthanas. Always think that I'm doing everything to attain sotapanna. Because nibbana could be a little further and harder at that point. So you have the mentality. All right, so this is what I basically discuss about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. We can have a short Q&A session with this Asala Puja, significance of the Asala Puja that we discussed, and also about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Now, let's take a couple minutes, and then we will do the transfer of merit after that. Any questions? Depends on to give a full answer, what kind of task is that going to be? Is it a spiritual one or your work life one? All right, so you have the full right to say no or yes in a better way, in the best possible polite way to say that. Politely, we have a word, decline politely. Yes, so you don't need to, if you know the stress, you don't need to take it, definitely. But if it is something, a part of your work, you can't avoid it, then you may do it. But if you have the time and option to choose, opt out, definitely you can say no to that. Because some people don't like to have a direct, straight no. That's the thing. So you have to say it in a very polite way. I'm afraid I can do it. Maybe, yeah. So find a better way to say, but you can definitely choose not to say yes to that assignment. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So it is possible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a different scenario, right? You ask him blessings to live better in this life, not to exist in next lives, right? Yeah, in this life. Yeah. That is a different scenarios, yeah. Doing something and expecting interest, I would say benefits out of it for next lives will be the problem. It's a tanha. Still people do that. But they have to understand, it is not a hard and fast thing that I'm saying. I just want to tell them that is anti-Buddhist. But it's your choice. If you want to limit the results of what you do it. Go for it. Yeah, it's okay. And what about transferring merits to mother, father? It is a duty of responsibility of children, so it is also okay. But if you do something by yourself and expecting things for future, that is not really Buddhist, fundamentally Buddhist. Because as I answered earlier, you don't have to. Because if you are worried about your next life, you don't have to worry about it. Because karmas will do their part as vipaka. If you are scared, okay, I haven't done enough karma, I don't know what's going to happen to my next life, don't worry about it. Let me ask you, how you became humans? Do you know what you did? You done a very enormous, very massive good karma. So, that happened before you know Dhamma, this life, right? Then what about now? You know some Dhamma, at least little Dhamma. What will be the leverage for the next life? Definitely, wholesome, good, right? Always help other people. Theravada people have an accusation, blame from others normally, that they are very selfish people. They only work on their dana and then practice meditation. So you practice all that, but also be selfless. Help other people too. Help other people's enlightenment. And then you will find your own way. The shortest answer is, the moment you realize that fishing to you was unwholesome, the moment that you started doing the right thing for that. Now you know it is not good to do. And now the second thought will arisen to you, I should not have done it too. That's a second thought. Now you are trying to fix the past. You can't fix it. But you are fixing by becoming a better person. And maybe you might have no thoughts to see the suffering of a fish. But now you already starting your practice, and you've been working on it. So if that comes to you as a bothering thought, then you could think to yourself that yes, not even you, everybody can be wrong in their life, right? We all, right? We may have made some bad choices too. The difference is by degree, more or less, right? So the thing is that try to avoid all the bad. Sabba papassa akarana. Try to avoid all the bad, not even one. And ever since you knew that this is bad, realize and work on it, keep that consistently, not just one day, right? So everything is okay. And now when let's say you go for a meditation, if that keeps coming on, you can think to yourself, yes, I did it, but I'm not doing it anymore. Ever since I knew, I'm working on it in an entirely different, better, wholesome way. Yes, yeah. Okay. In your practice, whatever the practice you are doing, I would say Noble Eightfold Path, when you practice it, never ever, I would say, cling to any pleasures. Now, clinging seems to me that, let's say, you see beautiful things, and you see ugly things, and you hear beautiful sounds, ugly sounds. Whatever you are doing, you should not cling to them. You may attach, yes. Without attachments, you won't be able to live, right? But do not ever cling to those things, pleasures. And there are people who are trying to completely avoid in the sensual pleasures. That is by doing lots of sila. That is also not a good thing, because you are giving lots of pain to you. Sila is just a way to map your framework. You're going to lay out the framework of your spiritual life. Other than that, do not cling to your sila. And we have a Pali word for that, silabbata paramasa. When you do too much sila, you become a silabbata paramasa. That will never help you to attain sotapanna. You have to avoid that, overcome that. So, by avoiding these two extremes, then you are going to fine-tune, smoothen your practice. A lot of people's practice are very hard. If you get in touch with somebody who is doing practice, feel like they are doing lots of hard practices. Very hard. Hard, and they want to become fast. When you are carrying weight, can you be fast? No, you have to smoothen your practice. Smoothen means you should not, I would say, overdo both the pleasures and the sila part. Practice sila without clinging to sila. Understanding there are samadhi and panya also. Yeah, that way you will find your own practice. Yes. Insecticide and pesticide. Yes, I mean, well, I can take the example of a soldier, maybe a police officer, law enforcement. Let's say there's a domestic violence happening in a household now. The man is going to kill the wife. Let's take that example. So they have to come into the house, break in the house, and then asking to put down the gun over there. But he's not listening. They may have to use the extra force at that point. Maybe an officer might have to shoot in a different way, maybe below the legs, maybe if things getting escalated, maybe something else. Now my question is, a police officer or a soldier in the war are doing that part not to kill other people, but just to protect the peace. If they are not surrounded in any country, these countries will be in jeopardy, risk. So you take the same example. Right? So I'm trying to say that, like, we have a duty, responsibility to keep our houses clean and tidy. Uninvited guests might come anytime. Rats, we have to have compassion towards them. But there are situations that we may have to understand the situations, pest. So we try to save them, but there are situations, pests can become a human problem, human diseases. So who are we going to choose? Are we going to choose the rats over the humans, or humans over the rats? Answer is up to you. That is how we're going to look at it. That is why I'm saying Buddhism is not extreme sila. For Jains, they say, no, don't do that job. You can't do it. How come they're going to say? They're going to use a broom to sweep the floor before walking. But Buddhism is not an extreme philosophy, teaching. It says always look at why you're doing, your bigger intention, bigger purpose.